who did every moment of that time with her daughter in a true testament of maternal love. It was so unbearably moving to me when I heard the story, and then reached out to Billie and asked if there was any way that I could help. But I couldn't get over the fact that we had a reality loser in the White House, and then we had a reality winner being tried. I thought, this is not something you can just go, coincidence, you know. I was like, let's everyone pay attention to what's happening here. And anyway, we have somebody on that, do we not?
They haven't.
Okay, let's get everybody a mic. Let's figure it out. We're trying to get reality right now on the Zoom to talk to people. As you know, our director got COVID, and so she's not here. So we're wigging it on our own. First of all, does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask Billie or me or the family friend whose name is escaping me? Wendy. What we'll do is you'll have to raise your hand, I'll pick you, and then you have to talk loud, I think, because we don't have someone running around with a mic. Anybody have a question? Wow, this is going to be a really short Q&A. Yes, up in the back, hello.
Hi, I have a question for reality. Is she here?
Well, we're trying to get her, as soon as she's on there, we will let you know, but you know, it's not.
Reality.
You got reality?
I've got reality.
Okay, what's the question for reality winner? We will ask her and then we'll put the mic up and hope it works. What's your question, sir?
You know, maybe because I'm a little older, but I was watching and she was being questioned by the FBI. The first thing that would have come to me or in my mind was, wait, I need to talk to an attorney. I need to have my parents here. I need not to say anything right now.
Well, I think from what I've read and from what she has said, she really thought that her life was in danger. She lived in a world where black box prisons and black sites are real things, and this was the world that she was living in and the work that she was doing. The number of people that she ended up credited with kills for her work was very taxing on her spiritually and emotionally, and I think she had a reality that you and I can't imagine because we're not in the NSA, and we don't know how brutal and horrific the inner workings are that she knew. So I think she was pretty accurate describing the fact that she knew she could be killed at any moment, and that's a sad truth. But Mom, does reality have an answer for that?
I don't know if reality can hear us. Reality, can you hear us? I don't think we have
Okay,
audio on here.
that would be very bad.
That would be bad. I'm so sorry. We're just, like she said, the director got COVID. We're kind of just doing what we can to make this work. And also, you know, you think back, reality had just gotten out of the Air Force. And so when you're in the military for 6 years, you are going to follow all the rules. You're going to say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're not going to question anything. And so when the FBI show up at your door, you're still playing, you know, that soldier role. So she was very fresh out of the service.
Yes, and very young. You know, I have 5 children, and 4 of them are older than her. You know, I mean, she was pretty young when she was doing that. And you know, the frontal cortex is not even fully developed till 26. She was a 25-year-old girl. So, yes. Who else had a question? Yes, sir. Hi.
I just heard that she had spoken Farsi among maybe a couple other languages.
Yes,
Where did she study or learn those?
Mom.
She actually was trained in the Air Force. They have the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. And so she spent 2 years there getting intense training in Daryan Farsi, and then she had an immersion program in Pashto when she went to the Washington, D.C. area. So yeah, she spoke all 3 languages.
And she has said that her father really instilled that in her, do you think? Isn't that what she said? She said on my podcast, her dad was the one who got her interested in languages. We think we might have her.
Yeah, I think we have her. I don't know if we have audio. Do we have audio? No audio yet.
Give her a call.
Oh well, that's okay. We'll keep trying, but you want to give her a call? Maybe we can do it on phone. I could put it, I don't know. Yes, right over there in the blonde.
I have a question, are you still a correctional officer, and how do you synthesize that, because the training is so dehumanizing for the officers, I know that.
So no, I am no longer employed with the correctional facility. I did take a job as an officer. When Reality went to prison, of course, I had to move back to Texas. I needed to get a job. I had been an employee with Child Protective Services with the state of Texas for over 26 years, and I retired. When I applied back at CPS, they said I could no longer be trusted. So I started looking around. I saw that they had openings at a facility near me, and really I wanted to do it because I had never been inside of the jail. I had never been inside of the prison. I had no idea what my daughter was going through day to day, and so it really was something that I wanted to do, to see. And actually the facility that I worked at, they really drilled into us respect for respect. You give respect to get respect, and I liked that, and I saw that within our facility. We were just a detention facility holding until sentencing, and so there was a lot of respect. There are always some bad apples, bad actors in there, but I saw that I could be somebody who could at least be a hope in there, and it did make me feel a little bit closer also to reality, because the minute that you walk into those places, they all smell the same. They just all smell the same, and so I remembered the smell from going to Licking County to visit her.
Yeah. Yes, sir, in the white shirt. Hi.
I actually have two questions. When will Reality be able to take off her ankle bracelet? I think it's just ridiculous that she still needs to wear that.
Mom.
That's my first question.
So she actually does not have the ankle monitor anymore. The ankle monitor was put on as part of her home confinement program. She was actually released early from prison to go to a halfway house program. And then due to COVID, what they were doing at that time was they were releasing people, if they could, to home confinement and putting an ankle monitor on them. So that came off when she satisfied her actual prison sentence at the end of November of 2021. But she still is on the 3-year probation. So she's restricted to a very small area in South Texas. She can't travel outside of that area without written permission. She also has a 10 o'clock curfew every night, which also, really interferes with your ability to move around it or do anything. She has to report, she has to submit all of her financial information. She has to go for drug tests whenever they call her. Just, the whole thing. It's, she's still under supervision.
And the trauma, that she has now as a result of all that happened to her, 5 years of that traumatic incarceration, and to go from one part of your world where you're identified as a patriot veteran to another part of the world where you're considered a spy or some sort of a traitor to your country. It's been a lot for her emotionally and psychologically, and she's doing really well, I think. Hi, how are you? It's me, Rosie. Can you see me? I used to send her a lot of books and when she was in prison, and I talked to her a couple times. Up in the back row, yes?
First of all, thank you to Reality and what you folks for the perseverance that I can't even imagine. And I'm not sure if this question's answerable, but
Had Trump lost in 2016, I don't think it would have been an issue, and I don't think that this document would have needed to have been leaked.
Yeah.
It was
sure.
Trump that was holding it back from us.
Such a lovely guy. Anybody else? Yes, hello?
Hi, do we have a winner?
No, we have her mom only.
No, well, she is. No, she's on now.
And can she speak back to us?
Can you talk, Reality?
reality.
Reality?
No.
No.
I just
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about this case, besides your podcast, Rosie. And this, I've cried, I've listened, I'm so full of emotion and anger, a lot of anger. But you are a brave woman and incredibly. I mean, I don't even want to get into it, but thank you for trying to do what's right. And it's like we owe you an apology for not taking heed and maybe acting accordingly and saying thank you as opposed to you're a spy or whatever they're saying. And looking at what's happening right now with that last scene, I wish the director was here. It was really well done.
Yeah.
Top secret items all over the place.
Well, Reality got 5 years for one paper, and you saw how many he has. So somebody take out their calculator and do the math,
Right.
because I
It's
hope
upsetting.
he'll be there for a long, long time.
Thank you.
With the same exact way that he persecuted Reality. Let's hope they turn the Espionage Act on him.
Yes.
Anyone else have a question? Yes, Bob.
Hi, Rosie.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
I saw the promotional material that the documentary was shot over 5 years. And if anybody can tell me about
When this first went down, of course, we had no experience whatsoever in this world. We were just a normal family living our lives. When this happened, we were surrounded by support from people. Rosie was absolutely like the first one. I would never forget that call. As long as I live, I'll never forget the call that she made to us. Anyway, other whistleblowers also came to surround us, and through that, I met Lisa Lane, who was in National Bird, and Sonia Kennebeck is the director of National Bird as well. And so I watched the film. I started following Sonia. It was very, very quick, and Sonia noticed, why is she following me? And we connected, and Sonia visited me in Augusta, and she wanted to do the film. I had other offers from other ones, but it would be more like tabloid type, things, and I didn't want to do that. I really wanted this to be done respectfully, and I thought that Sonia could do that, and I think that she delivered.
I do too. Beautiful. I think it's a beautiful representation of what happened, and it's not exploitive in any way. So I think she did a wonderful job. Yes, back row man again.
There was the line in there about how election.
Being threatened or that they were under attack. So it kind of woke everybody up at that moment. And yes, our government has put in some, safety nets so that this did not happen in 2020. So 2020 was actually our safest election.
Good to know. So that was a big plus. You're right. I'll just keep my mouth shut and try to remember what it was like when I used to do stand-up for a living. Yes.
Rosie, how far into it did you contact Billie?
I bet you Billy knows the exact date. Do you know the
It
date?
was that Monday, so she was arrested on the 5th. It was June 5th. It was Monday. We were getting ready for the hearing. And I told my husband I needed to get ready, and so I was in the bathroom, and he had my phone, and then he comes in with the phone and says, "You're gonna want to take this," and I'm like, "I'm really busy," and he's like, "You're gonna want to take this. It's Rosie," and I'm like, "Oh."
I know, as people said to me, who asked you? This is what should be on my tombstone when I die. Who asked you? Why do I think I have to call the mother of the girl with the reality name because he is Lord Voldemort and I am sworn against him, I don't know. I just thought to myself, if I was that mother, I would want some voices out in the world to tell me that they got your back as much as they can, And when people are given horrific experiences, if you can drop a little grace in their life, it means a lot to everyone, mostly to yourself, because you hope when you're in that position that grace is shown to you.
And I could not be more grateful to everything that you've done.
Right.
That phone call, you donated to the GoFundMe that somebody set up for us. You've always been responsive. I can always reach out to you if I need, and you would, repost things that we would tweet. You've helped us build our support, and I am so grateful.
It is truly my pleasure, and it's one of the reasons that anyone should be given a little fame is to put spotlights on things that are not given enough attention, That's what I think. Yes.
Yeah, thank you to everybody, especially to Reality's mom. I did still do follow you on what used to be known as Twitter. So thanks for standing by your daughter as a mother. It is incredible your capacity to offer her really amazing words of support and like when she needed it. That's a beautiful thing. I was gonna ask about her artwork. Is that a lot of her artwork that was shown, and does she still do it?
All of what you saw in there was her artwork, and what you saw in there was mostly the artwork that she was doing while she was in county jail. So of course her medium was very limited as far as what she could use. She is extremely talented. They just had an art show in Germany in February. It was February. Where she sent all of her artwork over, and they had it in a gallery, and it's just gorgeous. Yeah. So
Yeah,
she's
as a
very
librarian,
talented.
it's like make sure that gets saved.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. All right, well, now we're going around for 2 or 3 questions. All right, yes.
It's kind of just looking backwards, but what the head of the Intercept said about nothing could have been done, the government would have found out anyway, had they taken every precaution to shield her identity. Do you believe that?
I know they made mistakes.
Yeah.
Big time mistakes. I do believe that Reality would have been caught eventually, but what they did was they just led them right to her door.
Right, served her on a platter.
Yeah.
And
right?
she didn't have a defense. I mean, what defense do you have at that point?
It just seems so.
Yeah, it's a crazy story in America here. Yes.
Did she have another avenue if they are now saying taking that information that needed to be leaked? We needed to know that. Somebody needed to blow that whistle. If the Interceptor was maybe not the right path, what was her option? Was there any official, legal way in which she could have made us aware of what was going on?
No.
How?
It's the most terrifying show ever to go on television. The Golden Bachelor gives me so much panic. As a 61-year-old, thank God I'm a lesbian. I don't have to go there. Oh, well, I lock the doors and there's Dunkin' Donuts in 2 hours. This is my new HBO special. I actually started doing stand-up a couple of weeks ago, and it's very interesting. It's like, when you're like, go to your 20-year reunion and all the guys get drunk and they go, come on, let's go outside and play football, and they think they're still 18 and they all end up in the ER. Like, that's kind of what happened during my set. I was like, why did I think that I could get up here after 20 years of not doing this and just fucking do it, It was like an performance. I went on at the Comedy Store. It was like, first of all, half the kids didn't even have a clue that, they were like, what was her name again? And I'm like, Rosie O'Donnell. They're like, you look old. Which I do, which is okay. I don't mind that. I just don't like this one. I don't want to insult you, but are you Rosie O'Donnell? It's a double whammy, right? It's okay. I'm fine with how I look. We are the world. We are the women. Okay. But any more questions about this so that we can get out of here? Yes.
She thought about writing a memoir about what's happened. Is that she, I know she's journaling and doing all these wonderful things to keep track of her thoughts, but she decided to try to put a book together.
Yes, she has been working with a publisher to get a memoir out. Just to let everybody know, part of her plea deal, Reality cannot benefit in any way from her case, neither or her family or her associates or her future family. So She cannot make not one penny on anything that has to do with her case, but we just feel it's important that all of this information be out.
Maybe I could write the book. They could pay me a lot of money and I could just give it to them, you know? That's what I think. Yes, sir.
If she hadn't taken a plea deal, how much longer could all of this have taken?
We could still be there.
Yeah.
They were dragging it out. You know, what I see in the Trump case right now is, you know, his complaints or his attorney's complaints. We've been there. What they do is they say everything is secret, and you have to go to Washington. You can only view it in this SCIF, you know. And so the reality's case was very much like that. What they would do was they would do these dumps of data on them, like tons and tons and tons of documents and information. Reality's attorneys would have to either go to Washington or the SCIF in Georgia, and they would have to sift through all of this stuff and figure out what was relevant, what they were going to use, what they weren't going to use. And so her dates just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed.
It's tragic. Yes.
I was wondering if they're making any movement toward changing this law. Is there a way to go forward and
Well, we don't have to do it right now, do we? Couple of years, we might think of that. When we get a Speaker of the House, we'll introduce that bill. Yes, honey, yes.
One of the things that infuriated me most was the way that The Intercept handled everything from
Yes.
hearing it first talked about on your podcast, and it sucks because it was a trusted outlet to reality. Clearly she subscribed to it, followed it.
Well, anyone who paid attention to Snowden and all of those, you know, that was the one. It was the Greg guy, you know. Everybody, and they actually said, like, in the doc, here, show us, this is how you dump your leak.
Yeah.
So they didn't do anything to protect her, and it was very shameful, I think.
Right, and so if they have done this clearly to multiple people, the other guy talked about being arrested because of them as well, does she still follow what they do? Have they made any moves towards changing their policies that you're aware of?
I know that they did an internal review.
Okay.
I know that some people don't work there anymore. I know that they supposedly changed their policies, but you know, I wouldn't trust them.
Yeah.
So much infighting.
Yeah, and you know, wanting to get known for themselves as opposed to thinking of what she was risking to share this news with everyone. This will be the last one right here, and thank you so much for coming, everyone, and please feel free to, Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 92% or something, so if you go home and you liked it, please do that. Yes, ma'am, in the grace room.
It was a very moving documentary, and I do think we have reality to thank for Trump not being reelected in 2020 for their efforts, and I'm just wondering what efforts have been made to pardon her crime?
Well, you know, it's what I always say when anyone I know is going to meet Biden. And my old hairdresser, remember this? I called you? I called her to tell her this. My hairdresser is now Jill Biden's hairdresser, right? And so I was like, let me give you a short course in Reality Winner. And when you have her and you're dyeing her goddamn hair for 3 hours, you bring up casually how this would be a benefit for all of America and the world. And she did, and then they threatened to fire her if she brought up anything political again. And they, Jill, because you know, she's not the smartest hairdresser. She's very good at color, but she's not as smart. So they said, how did you hear of all this? And she's like, Rosie O'Donnell, my friend, she told me what to say to you. I'm like, thanks a lot, I'm now on the no-fly list. Thanks a lot. But thank you, everyone, and thank you for being here. And let's hear it for Reality, Billie, and the people who made this film. It's a wonderful piece. And thank you all for being here.